Alright, one more session of 1 minute on Lichess today. I have went 0 for 5, and I have went 4 for 5. And we will see, maybe find some middle ground. I just like to develop my pieces to reasonable squares against the stuff. The bishop's best on d3, so I try to cut that. They can play on knight e5 and queen a4 and grab a pawn here, because they can take on a7. They want more. Huh. I guess bishop d6, hit e5, and then get castled. They can force queens off, yeah. Maybe c4, try to cramp them a little, and then pretend it's like a Benko gambit where I get pressure on the A and B files. Okay, that's reasonable. They're going for the e4 push to undermine the pawns. I'm going to make sure it doesn't come with tempo, so I can slowly... I should have inserted bishop g3. Maybe counter in the center a little. Now they don't have the e4 break. Maybe bishop e7, this pawn can be loose. Maybe my knight coming to a4. Alright, that won't be permitted, but I'd be happy to get the two bishops. Still a little hard for them to unravel. Okay, I guess I can't take on b2. That was good for them. My knight doesn't really have anywhere it's going. So we're gonna swing back and forth which pawn we're attacking. And play quicker. Now knight a4 is not contestable. Okay. Let's trade that. Try to sneak in and get some checks, and come back and defend the pawn, and we were fast enough. Alright, 1 for 1. I will be back in a moment. Respond to bishop c5 with e3, looking to play d4. I'd like to see them take because it gives me bishop g5. They obliged. Maybe let's insert f3 just so I don't have a problem on d4, and then play knight d5. This might be a little risky because it certainly opens up my king on the diagonal after I castle, but I can double their pawns in front of their king, then castle, and I can always take on b6. So I'm not too worried. Maybe my other knight comes to d5 now. Okay. I think I'm totally willing to trade queens, because their structure is kind of a nightmare for them. Maybe just rook e1 next. Maybe bishop f1. Let's hit the knight, and then look to play rook e1 if I can. Okay, I cannot. Knight d5 hits the rook in f6, and if they go to e6, I have c7. And now I have to speed up. Ooh, I can play d5 for added effect. Yeah. Now I went a full rook. Let's just trade everything. And speed up. Let's take everything. And at some point I'll play rook takes g6 and just push all the pawns, just for simplicity. Alright. I think I can win this one. Alright. 2 for 2. Can we get back to 2,500? Right, let's play a Sicilian. I really like these e5 lines. If they take, I have queen d4. If they take on e5, I mean. Knight e7 is also reasonable. Probably better. They have e5 here, geez. Playing quickly and badly in the opening. That's a nice move. Maybe it takes... If I play queen d5, they should play queen f3, I think. Threatening f6. Maybe you should look for g5, g4, just because I'm down material, so I will need an initiative. Okay. I can often win tempo against that bishop, because it's so awkwardly placed. Ah. Okay. Let's take, play here, try to get in on f3. Has no real effect. Should probably try to keep a pair of knight c2, I guess, or rook c8 and then knight c2. Ooh, that is a good move. Try to keep something, but it ain't much. I can take f6. I'd have just taken on h7 and come back to f6 if I was them. Yeah. So they're threatening checkmate in 1, and I do not see a way to avoid it. Okay. 3 for 4. What went wrong there? We hung a piece in the opening. I perhaps pre-move a little too often in bullet. So we got another Botvinnik system, couldn't click. And I'm going to play against the c5 hook, so I'm going to play rook b1, a3, and b4. Whenever knight comes to d4, I like to take it. I can sometimes come to b5, but I think just e2, and look to play a3 and b4. The thing is, their best square for a piece, like a knight, is d4. So when they occupy it with a pawn, it means a knight can never be the occupier. Maybe b5. Just to prevent them ever playing b5 and undermining my pawns. I think I'm just going to take a lot. Could have taken on b7 too, probably should have. Okay. My knight didn't really have a nice square. I'd like to play queen e2 next, I think. Maybe knight f3 to g5. Okay, that's a mouse slip. I'll offer a draw. Okay, 3.5 out of 5. We'll play one more. That wasn't a full game. We did lose a white there, though. Okay, bishop d6. d6 is the move as played earlier, but bishop d6 is curious, and I like curious moves. Have to play bishop c7, d6. Take that, and I have bishop g4 next. Yeah, now this position is very promising, because they cannot stop their king from being very unsafe. I'm just going to pile up on the pinned piece. No need to take immediately when now I threaten knight f3, gf3, bishop f3, winning the queen. I think we can end on a win here. Yeah, just take on f3. They cannot recapture. Maybe they intend h3. Knight h2 is possible. There's also just bishop h5 and just stay up a piece. Let's do that. Because if they play g4, bishop g6, they no longer have two attackers on f3, so they cannot take. Yeah. Alright. I think I feel good about that one.